I actually arrived in Texas on May 21st of this year. So from May to, I believe it was the 3rd or 4th of October, is when I finally got housed. Yeah, a friend or someone that I met that I, really synced with had an apartment, and they allowed me to rent their couch for $100 a week. And that is what got me outside. I believe I worked a week. I worked for about a week and a half. And right before I got my paycheck is when I made the agreement. And they allowed me to come in a couple days before my check came in. And when my check came in, I happily paid, for my stay there. And that was the beginning. That was the beginning of the end. Well, that was the beginning of the next part of this journey, and rebuilding my life. And I'm so grateful that I had this experience, because without it, I wouldn't know what I was made of, and that I could actually stand on my own 2 feet and do this. Well, my hat's off to you, because we hear of stories and we see, the same people year after year who are homeless. And I just want to know, what do you think was the difference for you? Having been out on the streets from April 27th, which is like the end of the month, up until October. Yeah, about a 6-month time span. What made it different for you? Why do you think it was such a short time for you, as opposed to someone else? The difference for me, there were a couple of things. Number one, I don't struggle from an addiction. What I found is that a lot of the people that I met struggled with either alcohol addiction or drug addiction of some kind. And that really prevented them from, I think, having a clear mind. That's one thing. The second thing, which I didn't state in the very beginning, is I founded a nonprofit organization back in 2010, Joshua's Institute and Refuge for Emergency Housing. And it was always our endeavor to provide housing for families. However, we never received enough funding to do that. So what we did was we offered resources where we would kind of be the liaison between the resources that were needed for an individual or family and the actual agency that would provide it. And then we expanded our reach to offering financial services or financial literacy services for the homeless, where we were teaching in Salvation Army in Montgomery, Alabama, as well as to in prisons, to ladies who were about to be released from prison. And, that's what we started doing, but it really wasn't the heart of Gyra. It really did not serve, it didn't serve the objective that we had in mind. So me having this background, being the founder and director of the organization, I looked at this whole ordeal through different eyes. I was there as someone who was in need, but I was also looking as someone who could provide the needs of the people. And I believe that God allowed me to go through this for that purpose, so that I could better serve the people that I always desired to serve. And I think that, and before this experience, my eyes were kind of closed. I was probably more like some of these organizations that I was receiving services from. I was there, I was doing a good thing, but it wasn't exactly what was needed. You know, the services that were being rendered, they're great and they're good, they help, but it's like a band-aid to what's really going on.